the fact that this thing is difficult is the evidence that I'm on the right path and that I'm doing the right thing. Hello everyone, it's Tea Time with Jay. It's episode 5. Here's the tea, here's the Jay. I hope you're enjoying watching these. That was a stupid intro, wasn't it? Oh my God. So today, I want to talk about the benefits of having a positive inner voice. And that sounds so woo-woo and stupid, but it's not stupid. There are things that I can say to myself that can affect my mood, that can affect my capacity to do something well, that can affect my capacity to help other people. And the biggest example that I can give of this, just to get the ball rolling, is what I'll sometimes need to say to myself before I step out and perform a show with Tesseract, or before I step on stage for a drum clinic. I'll do this sometimes, because a drum clinic's a very different feeling to stepping out and doing a Tesseract show. A drum clinic, I'm by myself. I'm exposed. I've got to teach this thing, do this thing, perform this thing, whatever, and all eyes are on me. They're not looking at, one of the other 4 guys on the stage. And if you're not careful, those you can get some negative thoughts and feelings appearing in those moments before you're doing the thing, and maybe even if you're doing the thing, and especially if you make a mistake while doing the thing. So reminding yourself in positive words that you're equipped, that you're rehearsed, that you can do this thing, that you're good at this thing, that you're better than good at this thing, that you're world class at this thing. Those are messages that can really, really help. So before I go on stage for a big Tesseract show, there's a difference between a Tesseract show and a big show. A Tesseract show is most days on a tour, but then a big show is something like London. You've got a London headline, maybe an LA headline, a major city, let's say, where we've got a really big show. The crowds are going to be a bit bigger than usual. There are people turning up to these shows, and sometimes, especially a few years ago, that would affect my mental state going into the show, into the performance. And you maybe hit the stage with a bit more adrenaline. You may be a little bit nervous going on the stage, and that can manifest kind of negatively. Whereas now, the tool that I use to help negate some of that is to remind myself, I've got this. I'm rehearsed. I've done this loads of times before. Even if I haven't done it loads of times before, I've played the songs a bunch of times before. I've played them here. I've rehearsed them here. I've played drums for a long time. Even if I stumble during the show, I'm going to be able to recover. I'm going to be able to pick myself up. If I drop a stick, doesn't really matter. I'm not going to die if I drop a stick. I've got a little pouch next to me where I can pick up a new stick. I can carry on. Ackle's going to turn around to me and make a face, and we're going to have a laugh about it. So I know I'm equipped, and I'll just remind myself, you're good at this. You're brilliant at this thing. You're one of the most equipped people on earth to go out and do this thing. You might be the only person on earth right now that can do this thing. And you've got it. You're good. And I know that sounds a little bit silly, maybe, but compare that to the alternative. If I'm dwelling on problems that might come up, or making mistakes is going to absolutely ruin my reputation. Everyone's going to notice this thing. Everyone's going to feel this mistake that I make, and it's going to, they're going to remember that forever. They're never going to come to a Tesseract show again. Oh, it's the end of my career. Oh, I might as well just give up. Those are the alternatives. When you start on the route down those things, it just spirals and gets worse. So lifting yourself up ends up becoming a way more positive asset if you've got the ability to do that, than to talk yourself down in the opposite direction. And the same is true when practicing the drums, because practicing the drums is difficult, or it can be difficult. Sometimes it's just fun. You might just be playing along to some music that you love. You might know that music really well, really intimately, and you can just navigate the music and it's loads of fun. But when you're trying to play something new, when you're trying to learn a new pattern, something that's brand new, never done it before, the limb independence isn't there, the coordination isn't there, that's challenging, that's super difficult. And what I do to remind myself in those moments where I'm like, I'm in the middle of a session or I'm at the start of a session, this mountain seems insurmountable, it seems ridiculous. I've got to be able to play that. Are you kidding me? I've got to be able to play that by next week to record it. Are you kidding me? That's where I start. But then I remind myself, hang on a minute, I've done this kind of thing before. I've got the tools to learn this thing fairly quickly. The next 30 to 40 minutes of doing this are going to feel tough in the same way that working out is going to feel tough. But I'm going to get through it. I'm going to focus. I'm going to get to the end of it and feel excellent because I put the time in to get this thing a few steps ahead. And I've kind of got my flow down for that process now. If anyone's interested in that, like learning that practice process, so drop me a message and I'll share some information with you. But I just remind myself, I've got this. I go into those sessions, I feel really, really good. And then when I hit a hurdle in those sessions, you know, when you're really focused on something new that's challenging, bandwidth gets depleted much faster. It's different than just practicing random drums, just playing the drums. When you're really, really focused on something new, the bandwidth for learning that thing, for absorbing it just goes down so much faster. It's like you're in a sports car and you've got your foot on the gas and you're just watching the gas tank empty. It's the same kind of thing because you're just putting so much into this. But I remind myself, I know I've flipping got this. I just have to really focus, and I know it's going to be difficult. And the overall message to that I want to circle back around to is that the fact that this thing is difficult is the evidence that I'm on the right path and that I'm doing the right thing. So let me say that one more time. The fact that this thing is difficult is the evidence that I'm doing the right thing. Because if it was easy, everyone would do it and everyone would be good at it. And we're not everyone. We're trying to do something that is exceptional and that is unique and that is new and that is challenging and that grows us and that we love. And all of those things can't be true if this thing is easy. So that's what I remind myself of. Then there's one more thing, and this is in relation to developing technique as a musician. And I'm sure this applies to more instruments than just the drums. I see so many drummers, I speak to so many drummers that are frustrated with their lack of progress when it comes to improving speed, improving technique, improving efficiency, those main areas. Because what tends to happen is you start a new thing, you start a new skill on the drums or guitar, whatever, and at the very beginning you ramp up quite quickly. Like you have this, oh wow, I've got this thing, oh wow, this is amazing. You start playing around with this thing. And then you reach a point of proficiency and the curve kind of drops off a little bit. You kind of plateau a bit with this thing because you're reaching a point of kind of maximum possible speed, let's say, with that technique, especially with double kick or hand speed. Those are the two main things. You reach a point where it can't really go any faster. And at that point, people see other people able to do something faster and start to feel bummed out that they can't do it. Why can't I go faster? Why can't I play faster double kick? Why can't I play ridiculously fast single strokes? Why isn't my technique as clean as that? And here's the trick to like help yourself get through that. When you're trying to develop a technique, a physical change has to happen in the body. It's not just practice this thing and I'll get good at it. Yes, over time, if you will get better at it, but a lot of people will throw a practice per week at trying to improve technique and not see any progress, because that's not enough to improve technique, and then get frustrated after a month because, I've had 4 practice sessions, I thought I was going to get better at this thing, I'm no better, I'm crap. You haven't put enough into it. With technique improvement, you have to treat it with the same level of discipline as nutrition and fitness regime. You have to be turning up 4 to 5 times a week and practicing intentionally at this thing. Even if you only got 20 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week, 20 minutes, practicing double kick or hand technique, you're going to see a massive improvement in your abilities if you do that, because that's going to stack. That's going to compound over time. And compare, let's just say 4 sessions at 20 minutes per day in a week. So let's say 20 up to 25 sessions in a month, just 20 minutes a day. And then compare that to an hour or 90 minutes once per week. And what'll start to happen is you do the thing, and then you have rest the next day and you recover. And then you do the thing and you rest and you recover. And you do the thing and you rest and you recover. That recovery is key to improving the thing that you're trying to get better at, because a physical change has to happen in the body, and that physical change can't happen if you're not resting and recovering. That is super, super, super important. And it's the thing that I think a lot of people overlook, which is why they get frustrated that they don't see technique improvements, because they want it all to happen in 1 or 2 practice sessions, and that's not going to happen. So recovery is key to that. And reminding yourself that I'm disciplined and I've got this, and it's only 20 minutes a day. Who can't do 20 minutes a day? Everyone can do 20 minutes a day. Even the people with the busiest schedules can carve out 20 minutes. Spend 20 minutes less on the toilet scrolling on Instagram. Do like 60 seconds on the toilet instead. I love that. I love that's where my brain went. Spend 60 seconds on the loo and spend the other 19 minutes on your practice pad or on your kit, and look at the difference. So that was a short and sweet little message, but hopefully there's some affirming, positive ideas in there. There's something. There's one last thing. I'll touch on this and then I'll wrap up. That the words we say to ourselves affect us, right? We I don't know about everyone that's watching this, but I don't hear myself, but there are words in my mind. I can talk to myself without talking out loud. Not everyone can do that, apparently, which kind of just seems crazy to me, but I can talk to myself, and I can tell myself negative things, and that never serves me. Or I can tell myself positive things, and to tell myself positive things, there's a strategy that I have. It's change the state that I'm in, and I don't mean change the literal state I'm living in, as in North Carolina, I'm going to move to Florida or something. I don't mean that. I mean change the conditions that I'm physically in. And the state informs the story that you tell yourself. The story informs the strategy that you implement. So state, story, and strategy in that order. So if you're doing something badly, your strategy isn't good. It's because the story that you're telling yourself isn't good. And the story you're telling yourself isn't good is because you're in a bad place. So things that you can do to affect your state, it's like biology first, literally put biology first. The thing that you can do to improve your state is go for a walk. Like step up from your desk. I do this pretty much every hour on the hour, because I'm working here quite a lot. I'm making new drum lessons. I'm working on all kinds of things. I'm replying to students. I will get up and I'll go and do literally anything else for 10, 15 minutes. I'll just get up and change what I'm doing I'll make a cup of tea. That takes a few minutes to boil. It separates me from the thing I'm doing, so I don't just sit there for ages, because movement helps so much. So moving around, go for a walk, go and lift some weights, get on a treadmill, get on an exercise bike, get on a rower, walk the dogs if you got dogs, get outside in the sun, something to change your state. One of the best things is cold shower. That kind of sucks if you haven't done it at first, but there's a way to kind of ramp up into being able to do cold showers. That helps so much. Oh my God. I can't tell you the times that I've done that when I step out and immediately I'm able to do the thing I was trying to do. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, the shift that it has. But that then informs the voice that I've got internally, and I'm speaking in a more positive voice. Instantly it softens, then any negativity goes, and I'm able to speak to myself more positively. And that then helps me devise a better strategy for the thing I'm trying to solve. So state, story, strategy, in that order. And I'm going to wrap this up there. I hope something in that was helpful. It helps me to talk about these things. I love sharing these things. If you have any ideas for topics of conversation, things you'd like me to talk about and share in these little podcasty conversations with Jay, drop it in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you got this far. If you liked it, don't like it if you didn't like it. I suppose don't subscribe if you didn't like it, because I talk about this thing quite often. I'm going to go and drink my tea. I'm going to go and edit a drum lesson, and I'll see you on the next one of these.